Hi guys, and thank you very much for coming back to the channel. I hope you enjoy the upcoming video and let me know in the comments if you did. It's a shame that I wasted 2 hours today. I wasted trying to do that Tommy Robinson thing. It didn't work out.
Talking to the people?
Yeah, I spoke to 2 single people separately, but I couldn't get. I wanted to get a bit of a crowd, you know. And I don't know if you heard me, but I was even singing his name. Did you hear me or not? No. No? How are we doing for time today? Do you have a watch? Got anything?
Yeah, time. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
5 to 6.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I might give it another hour then.
Better glasses than me. The glasses are better than mine.
I don't think mine is better.
I can see your
I
eyes.
think this
I
is
can't
for
see your eyes.
This is for £1 only.
All of you are Tommy lover? This gentleman. Hardcore.
Yeah, I tried to get it going today, but I couldn't.
How long is done for?
Sorry?
Tommy, how long is done for?
He got 18 months and it comes out in July.
This July.
Yeah. So he's done a fair bit already. Yeah. Yeah, because he gets time off. So 18 months, he'll probably only do 9 or whatever it is. But it's
I heard Elon Musk paying him some money or something.
yeah, he's paying for his bills, you know, for lawyers and etc. Yeah.
So what's the benefit he's getting out of it?
Who, Musk?
Yeah.
Just for freedom of speech and trying to piss off Starmer, I think.
Really? He doesn't like stuff.
No, can't stand him. No.
I don't like him either.
No. You know, I mean, this is the only place left. You couldn't go and do what we do here in the high street. You'd be locked up.
That's the only thing I like. Stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Double-faced man.
Oh, he's two-faced, stab you in the back.
Stabbing the back.
Absolute
I
liar.
really agree on that. Even though I don't like Tommy to be on a certain respect.
Yeah, no,
He's a
he's
certain point of view.
the biggest liar out, that guy.
What about you? Also believe you're a Christian, aren't you?
No, I'm an antagonist.
Oh, sorry.
I antagonize people.
I like this man.
Yeah.
Speakers called.
Well, I tried, didn't I? I was down there earlier on shouting out, "Whoa, Tommy, Tommy, Tommy!" And no one came to talk to me.
You're trying to unite the people?
No, not the people. No, I was trying to get people interested in a man called Tommy Robinson,
Oh,
who is in prison at the moment.
But do you support him? Do you support him?
Yes, but I wasn't supporting
as an
him.
Englishman.
Today I wasn't supporting him. I was trying to be a moderator, getting other people together.
But he's
But-
very dangerous. He's very dangerous.
No.
He's racist against people.
No,
Why you support him?
his best friend is a Sikh. His second best friend, this man here, is his second best friend. He can't be racist.
But look, I mean, 2 years ago, do you remember what happened? Oh, was it 2 years ago? The riots. 2 years ago it was it? Or
The
last year?
Royals.
No, riot.
Oh, the riot.
Right, yeah. Caused by him. Yeah. And you know what they did?
No, you're
Yeah.
talking about St George's Day, opposite down in Whitehall, yeah?
No, and in that city where they wanted to raid a hotel where the immigrants were.
That was after that was Southport.
Okay.
Yeah, Southport. That was after the 3 girls got murdered by the Muslim man. It wasn't nothing to do with Tommy Robinson.
No, but these supporters were just storming that place.
No, it's not true. Most of them people were from Southport itself.
And that boy who just murdered that, I was so shocked about that poor girls. And that, as an individual, you have to address him as an individual person who did that crime. You cannot say, oh, he's a Muslim, he's Muslim.
No, the problem, they should have admitted it instead of telling lies. So the police and everyone, they told lies,
and also,
which is what caused the riots.
The Pakistanis who rape a woman, they should also be addressed by their names. They should not blame the whole community to say, oh, they are.
No.
And do you agree with me or not?
Yes, I think they should. I think yes, I agree that I think it shouldn't be the first thing that's said.
So do you agree that there is a war between races, white and non-white? There is a problem.
I think there's problems, but the majority of the problems are the ones that come over on the boats, the illegals. Is the problem, because I haven't got a problem. I'm not racist. I haven't got a problem with if you like non-white colour people with non-white colour faces.
What about Jews coming over? You've got a problem with the Jews coming over?
No, not really. No.
But the Jews will get us into a war for their interest.
Yeah, I understand what you say, but I still, if they come over,
get us into a war. They are more dangerous, really, than the Muslims.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue about that.
Muslims, I think very, very simple people.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, for example, to try to say how is the level of their danger, I'm telling you, they can be rude. That's it. Muslims, what they can do in here. I know they are just here in the bottom of the society. We are Muslims. We just working as to make an Englishman be rich.
Well, I don't know about that. It's just
It's numbers. But the Jews control the Labour Party through the Friends of Israel, and they control the Conservative Party through the Friends of Israel, and they control Trump through.
Oh my God!
Why was it then that the Labour were always in trouble about I can't think of the word about having to go at the Jews all the time?
That was Corbyn.
Corbyn's
Corbyn. But
that was going on for years.
By the Jews.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they wanted to get rid of Corbyn because they've got to have their man. Ruling the Labour Party. Anybody that's not under their control, they can't tolerate. They have to get rid of. And they got rid of Jeremy Corbyn, and he'll never get back. I told, do you know Heiko meeting? Heiko, you listen to Heiko.
Never heard of it.
He's half Chinese over there.
Yeah.
And he had a German bloke at his meeting on the platform. And Heiko wanted Jeremy Corbyn to be Prime Minister. And I said, he will never be Prime Minister because the border deputies of British Jews will not allow it. And this German bloke who's just silent thought I was crazy. And that's exactly what happened. You cannot become a Prime Minister unless the Jews agree. And they're a minority.
But you say they're going to put us in a war, but I don't know any war the Jews have ever started.
Well,
they've won a few.
No, the Second World War. What about the Second World War?
They didn't start it, did they?
No, with England. No, England ain't getting involved.
Well, but they didn't start the war, did it? It was the Germans that were killing them.
Well,
it was the Germans that were killing the Jews, weren't they?
Because it's their lifestyle. It's their lifestyle. They were
Germans
destroying the culture of the country.
The Germans were not killing English people. My mother used to go to Germany every year. And her German friends, she went dancing, and it's perfectly safe. And what happened was Germany didn't want to war with Britain, and they didn't want to bomb London. They didn't want to bomb London because they knew that the whole of the British Commonwealth would be against Germany and America. So what Churchill did, he was in a Zionist group. Look it up, the name of the group. He was in a Zionist group for 10 years before the Second World War. He was broke and an alcoholic,
Yeah.
And he couldn't pay the bills to keep Blenheim Palace. He's heard of Blenheim Palace?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's Churchill's residence. And he was with the Jews. And the first year that there was no fighting between Britain and the Germans. And Churchill bombed a German city for 6 days,
Yeah.
hoping they'd retaliate. And they retaliated. And then going on after that, you know, there's concentration camps.
Yeah.
They say 6 million, don't they? Died.
Yes, I don't know if
basically.
that's true. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
well, I can remember when it was 4 million died in Auschwitz.
Yeah.
According to the newspapers, it went down to 1.5 million. So I don't know. That's the official newspapers of the West. Don't know what happened to that 2.5 million.
No.
There's still 6 million that's supposed to die. Anyway, my dad was in the British Army in Hamburg, and he used to catch German women stealing potato peeling
Right.
because they didn't have food, and he let them go. He let them go, right, because he felt sorry for them. And the bombing of German cities was terrorised the civilians, the
Yeah.
British and American bombing, and it spread disease everywhere. What happened? The disease spread to concentration camps, and the SS ran the concentration camps, and they didn't want to catch the disease. So a lot of the camps, they let the inmates run them themselves,
Yes.
either the Communist Party or the criminals. And the Germans are really starving. And no one talks about the people that died in the concentration camps due to British and American bombing.
Yeah.
It's not talked about.
Well, and it's not only them. I mean, there's a lot of other European countries
Yeah.
that were killing the Jews on behalf of the Nazis.
But the thing,
And they-
anything you read about this, you've got to take a pinch of salt. I tell
Yeah,
you.
I suppose
Because
so.
I was brought up communist. My dad was pro-Russian communist, and we used to read the Soviet Weekly and the Daily Worker. You remember the
No, I
Daily
heard of it, yeah.
The Daily we used to buy.
Old-
I used to believe
old
every
lefty
word
paper,
of it.
yeah.
And now I started to read what actually happened in the Second
Yeah.
World War. It's not like what we're told.
You asked about racism, right? And I have to think. I think my problem is with what's happened. Is the Muslims have made things happen so quickly. It's not been a slow thing whereby over the last hundreds of years England's able to change, which we have, haven't we? England has changed. But now that we've had so many Muslims come in over the last 20 years, it's totally changed everything we do here. Yeah, and I'll give you an example, right? Because I don't think I'm racist, but this might tell you I am. I went to Whitechapel. And I came out of Whitechapel tube station and I turned right. And I walked for half a mile to a Bangladeshi restaurant. A friend took me to. I didn't see one white person in half an hour. Well, and then I ate inside, and everyone was so they're all looking at us to see if I was eating with my hands. We had to eat with our hands.
Why did the
Why-
pro-Jewish British establishment, ruling elite, let these massive immigration?
I don't know. All I know is
It's
when I
not the-
came.
it's
When
not the
I got to tell you, when I
Muslims,
came
it's the
out,
pro-
I saw five. I saw five. Does
You're
that
a
make
white
me?
man. You have taken so
It's
much
just-
land across the world,
Yes.
and you own it. Okay. Don't
Well, we
forget
used
that.
to, didn't we?
So,
Yeah.
so Australia, it doesn't belong to white man. But you have gone there and
Yeah.
you're descended, or there, it's a massive continent, and you've taken it. Yeah?
Yes.
And you take Canada, you
Yeah.
take all those things.
Yeah.
I think you deserve it because those
Uh-huh.
stupid
Yeah.
native couldn't
So you
fight
agree
for
with
it.
the
Jews?
Fight for it.
And
So
can I?
you're agreeing with the Jews?
So what I'm saying that
Yeah, what you're
a white
saying-
man is in control of. No, okay. Do you say Jews?
Yeah,
But
the
I say
Jews are the
white
ones
man.
letting them in the country, not the white men. The white men don't control this country.
No,
it's
what
the
I'm saying
Jewish
that
power.
the gentleman says that
Yeah.
he saw a Bangladeshi, not white.
Yeah.
people. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying that
Yeah, not
it's
one.
because you have to understand your own
It's not.
country, your history.
It's not
because
that.
you're in. What do you mean it's not that?
It's not.
You have been. You.
It's
I'm
not.
I'm Afghani, and I'm so proud that
It's
we
not.
beat the Englishman. in the wars.
And the Russians.
Okay.
Russians, yeah. So, but India
Yeah.
ruled by white people, by Englishmen.
Yes.
Well, what I'm saying
That's not the reason
it's
the
a
immigrants
massive
are here.
country,
That's
and
not-
they are dependent on your achievement.
No, that's not
so
the
they
reason.
they are. I'm telling you, they are dependent on your.
No,
What, the Indians?
Yeah, Indians and Bengali and Pakistani.
They don't.
Yeah, because they use your language, they use your system. They're not like us.
They shouldn't be against each
China
other,
is
should
like
they?
that. So what I'm saying that you have to deal with it because you have got so many. You ruled them for 200
No, we
years.
didn't.
Yes, you did.
We did not rule. See, they're brainwashed, the immigrants in this country and the Muslims. What it is, my grandfather was in the British Army. And you know what they an oath of loyalty to. You know what their oath of loyalty
Excuse
was?
me, you're denying that India was not ruled by you
So
English.
you're brainwashed.
India was ruled by English
Are you
people.
Muslim?
Yeah, I'm Muslim.
Oh, well, you're brainwashed.
Okay. No, I'm not. The gentleman admit that, and he's
Yeah.
proud about his empire was in India, and they ruled. 5,000 Englishmen
Yeah.
ruled
The English
300 million
didn't.
people.
They didn't rule. They
there
didn't
was-
rule. This is the truth. My granddad was in the First World War. You know what his oath of loyalty was too?
No, Queen Victoria.
King and
probably.
Empire.
Yeah.
The British Empire ruled under the City of London
Yeah.
and the Zionists, right? And the English never had any say on anything. It was the City of London.
Sounds like now we haven't got anything to say now.
Okay, what
Yeah.
you're saying that the ordinary English people who lived in the UK
Yeah.
have no benefit from that empire. That's what
I'm sure we
they
did.
didn't decide.
I'm sure we did. Yeah. Of course we
The
did.
reason you're here, the Muslims here, is to make the English weaker on behalf of the Jews and the rich people.
No.
Yeah, that's why you're here. Why? Look,
But we're talking about. So I'm Afghani.
Yeah.
Our country was not ruled
have
by
you got a
English people.
mosque? Do you go to a mosque in London?
No, I'm
No.
not practicing.
Oh,
Muslim.
well, yeah.
But I respect my religion.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's our religion, whether you like it or not. You
The
are
same-
Christian.
I'm not
If you-
bloody Christian. I hate the
Excuse me.
Christians.
Sorry, but if you die, they will take you to church. Or,
No,
or
they
they
won't.
would do. They would do.
Well, in
They
this
will do.
country,
Yeah, in this country, they will do. Your relatives, they will do.
They won't.
Same as with me. If I'm dead, I have to do some ceremony.
I've told my wife to leave me in the hospital. I want to die in the hospital and just leave me there because then they can bury me. It would save my wife £4,000 or £5,000.
Okay, that's
a bit-
right. Yeah.
that's a good idea, right?
See, but at least in Islamic world, we don't have that. We
No.
don't pay for the land to bury.
No.
Because if I'm from my country, that country is my homeland. I should have the right to bury myself anywhere.
Yes.
But in your country, it's different. It makes you different.
Yeah.
That's why you and us, very different
Yeah.
people.
But going back to what we were saying, it's because if the Muslims have changed this country so
They have,
fast.
it's the ones that let them
Yeah.
in. that
Yeah,
done
but
it.
but
They ain't got no say
that's.
at all. They won't let
I
them
hope
in.
that doesn't make me racist
No,
because
but who let the Muslims in?
I don't know. You say
The Muslims can.
I don't know. Let them in.
No country.
Whoever's in charge of our government.
What he means that, for example, Muslims, they're not welcome in Poland. In Poland, Muslims they are
No.
If I go
and
to
the Muslims are
China-
not interested to go to Poland.
If I
No,
go to China,
Germany now as well. They're not. You know,
I want to go to China.
Germany just
I want to
took
go
them.
to China to live.
Do
If
you?
I put one
Ah.
foot wrong, I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
Which is as it should be.
Yeah.
So it's not me doing it. It's the government letting all this immigration problem.
Which one don't you like? Please be honest.
Out of what?
Which one? But when you went to the Bengali area,
Yeah.
did you like them or did you?
No, I didn't
hate
have a
them?
problem. Only no.
So what about these?
No, they were staring at me. It
Yeah.
was the other way round, you know, where I was the minority in
Okay,
white
okay.
in
No,
white.
they're
What's it
in-
called? White
Yeah.
was
No,
it?
Brick
Especially
Lane.
in the Brick Lane. I mean,
Brick Lane was the best Cockney area.
Absolutely,
in London.
and Petticoat Lane as well.
And
You
was
remember
the
that?
best, the best area in
Yeah, it
London.
was. It
And
was.
It's gone.
But-
It's totally taken
Yeah.
over because of the traitors that rule England.
It's just
not
changed
his
too
fault.
quick.
But excuse me, you blame everything on Jewish. But don't you think that
But they were
the
doing
English
peace.
the English people themselves, they are very different. They like to be in the Mediterranean, my friend. They want to live in there. But in here, somebody has to fill their
The
space,
English-
Yeah.
fill their place.
Do you know where the English?
They have to generate money
do you
for
know
them.
where the English nationalists have to live now? In the countryside. They can't live in a city. They
but
can't
they
do
are-
anything. They're not allowed
They
to.
like to go to
They
immigrate to
can't.
other country.
They don't.
Spain is full of English people.
Have you heard of
Portugal-
Have you heard of
Portugal,
Patrick
all this-
Alternative?
Yeah,
Have you heard of
they
Patrick?
go there.
He's not heard
They
of
don't
it.
like it here.
32 years
The
I
weather
lived
is
in
bad.
Spain.
Look,
32 years.
Have you heard of Patriotic Alternative, the biggest English nationalist group? Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Well, you got to know the biggest nationalist group of English people live in England, right? They won't go to Spain, and they don't allow. They don't live in a city. They live in a communities where they have homeschooling, and they have their own medicine, and they do that.
If you can afford it.
You have got so much
If you
land.
can afford it.
The Englishman is in charge of so much land in
So-
this,
so
in this
it's like-
country.
look,
Australia
the
belongs to
English
you.
haven't
Why
got
don't you go
anything
there?
at all.
Yeah,
Why-
but what
yeah.
I'm
You're
saying
brainwashed.
that it's 'cause
The English do not.
You're in charge. I'm telling
What
you,
are you
Englishman is in
talking
charge.
about?
In
What are you
charge.
talking about?
People
I'm a
we are
nationalist.
not
100 years ago, not now.
Yes.
Not now,
Even
surely.
now.
I can't do anything
Yeah.
because I'm
Even
English.
now. Look,
I'm not
you
allowed.
go to India, they worship you because they say, "Oh, Englishman." They
went to
worship
India?
In India, if you get
Who went
this
to-
man goes
My
to-
grandfather.
because that's the way they are. And now
no.
those country is still falling apart because British left, and they don't know what to do. And a lot of them they come here. They like to come here because they like to have English way of life. They like to have it here.
No, because
they cannot do
they're
They
it.
do work. They do work though, don't
Destroy
they? The
English
Indians, they
people.
do work.
Immigration is used to
Yeah, they
Whereby
work.
the Pakistanis, not so much, huh?
Yeah, but believe me, Indians are also scammers.
Yeah.
You know, the Indians are, I don't know, you think that.
I
to
have.
you it looks like
Yeah.
that, but to me, they are not. They are just scammers. They will, they come here.
Nice to meet you. Bye bye.
So this.
See ya.
Yeah, he thinks everything is Jewish. Everything is this.
But
Okay,
going
maybe
back
he's
very,
right.
very quickly, you know, we normally get the blame, the English, about the slaves. You know, the slaves were before we ever got to Africa to take any slaves. The Africans were taking all their women and children down to the beach to send them off with other people. It wasn't to the British. The
Yeah.
British were late coming, and of course the English were the first to ban slavery.
Yeah, English.
So we were the last. We were the last to
English,
take slaves
that's-
and the first to get rid of them.
The English were, sorry for jumping in.
Yeah, please do.
When you said the English were first to ban slavery,
Yes.
when was that? The date?
Oh, I haven't got the date in my head.
50 years ago, 100 years ago?
1850 something.
Yeah, it was the late 18. I don't have the date, but we can Google it if you like. I know the fact it happened. I know that it was part of history. I just don't know the
Well,
date.
you see, when you see on the TV that every year you have the Notting Hill Gate, whatever you call it.
Yes.
They're celebrating the black
Yeah.
slavery thing.
Yeah.
It was in America. It was here. But when you look at the Martin Luther thing, whatever
Luther
you call
King.
it, exactly, he was fighting against slavery as well. But that's not too.
No, he was not was fighting slavery. He was fighting for the rights of the. Yeah, because already they were American slavery.
Excuse me a minute.
But the gentleman fight because England is the one which abolished slavery. Because
It's not
slavery
the
is
first country to abolish.
Sorry.
It's not the first to abolish.
England was the first to abolish slavery.
But everyone was kind of taking slaves from Africa to America to Europe.
Yes, and to England. Yeah, one time. Yeah, but if you Google it, I'm sure I'm right, because that is the history I grew up with. I don't remember the date. I can tell you the Battle of Hastings was 1066, but you know that because number 10 is my favourite number and 66 is the house I lived in. Are you with me? So I remember certain things. I suffer with a bit of dementia, but I can't remember the dates. You're probably right. It was late 18th. Late
something
17th.
like that, yeah.
Would it have been this? No, not 17th.
17, no,
Late 18th.
18 something, and I remember that.
Yeah.
I read
Yeah, I'm live stream at the moment, so I don't really want to look on. I don't want to Google it.
And
if
after
you've got
that,
a-
America's Civil War started because Britain just abolished slavery, and they were resisting it.
Yeah, that would have
They
been
were
about the
trying
same
to say,
time,
no,
wasn't
we
it?
want slavery. We want,
Yeah, that was about the same time, the American Civil War, because that was when they won. Then they banished. they stopped slavery straight away,
That's
didn't
why
they?
you
The
white
winners.
man is responsible for slavery. They say.
Ah,
the black people say.
Yeah, not first.
Yeah.
We weren't the first though.
Yeah,
We weren't the first to
white
start
people,
it.
So it's
No, the
European.
black people were doing it between each other.
Not that.
I
the
think if you look at
slaveries.
it, I studied IT. There are lots of good things coming out of England, like Isaac Newton, scientist. Lots of
Yeah,
good people.
sure. Yeah, Charles
Also-
Darwin.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, part of the empire, the British Empire, was like they created some problem here and there. We have to accept the good and the bad.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Britain is responsible for the modern world. I believe that the
Yeah.
modern world
Yeah, sure.
is Britain. Britain has done so much good stuff.
America, USA wouldn't be where it is
Yeah.
today without
Without Britain.
without the English
For
there.
example,
But do you think it's a good thing? Because when you look at the indigenous in America,
Yeah.
when you look at UK, they say, oh, Christopher Columbus, he discovered America. But America was already there. People were already living
already there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they went to
Yeah.
a
I think
different planet.
So where do those? I don't know this. Where do those indigenous people come from? It's like
They
the
lived in-
Aborigines.
no,
Yeah.
in
But
America, people lived in there
yeah,
before.
but they must have started with somewhere. They must have started. Hello. You all right?
I'm okay.
Good. Good.
The Red Indian is in America and Aborigines in Australia.
Yeah, but where do they come? Where do they
When
start from?
say-
They
when
got to
they-
start.
I actually challenge this claim.
Oh, you mean where
Yeah,
they
but, I
come
mean,
from?
yeah, England, as far as I know,
No,
didn't
when
have an
they- when
indigenous.
I actually challenge this claim. When they say that
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus went to America and he discovered the land.
Yeah.
Well, people were there already.
No, they were, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
my friend I'm saying, that the white people, they went there and genocide them. They killed the whole and take the
And they
right
stopped in
now.
America.
Look at
But
this
it wasn't
from
only England,
Canada.
it was Holland, Italy,
From
everywhere.
Canada all the way to Argentina is white.
Here's a
I'm
funny
not
one.
a gentleman. Do you know that this is all white?
Yeah.
From Canada all the way.
And a lot of people died through illnesses where the people on the boats came in with different illnesses, flus and whatever, and the indigenous people died of
and
that, didn't
indigenous
they?
were also
Sorry.
stupid people.
But
They
don't
were
teach you all
very.
of that.
See you, Michael.
They were primitive.
But they don't teach you anything about the indigenous
No.
people.
The problem is with those indigenous, they are not significant because I mean, other countries they defend their being, but they didn't.
No, they couldn't.
They couldn't. Yeah, maybe they couldn't.
They did try it, but they couldn't.
Look at the Spanish
Yeah.
language is all over. If
It,
you
it
go
was
to-
the Spanish, the Italian, the Dutch, the British, the French, everyone. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
some part of Canada is speak French.
They all had a bit of it, didn't they? All over the Caribbean.
Imagine if the
They show the
Muslims
country.
colonized South America, maybe they would have been much better. Do you think so?
I don't know.
Yeah, they would have been
I
much
tell you
better.
one thing.
They
Every
would-
empire has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
There's no perfect empire.
No. But I'm saying that in terms of values, I'm saying that I'm not saying Islam. I'm against it, but I'm saying that imagine the Muslim has gone there. Maybe those indigenous would have been today
Let me
with
tell you
us.
something. Let me tell you
They
something.
would have been
Let
there.
me tell you something. Originally,
in
I'm
charge.
Originally, I'm from Afghanistan.
I'm Afghani
Let
as
me
well.
tell you this. Look. I'm not related to these people.
You're related to him, though.
Look. Are you Afghani? In Afghanistan, for the last 40 years, we're killing ourselves.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
We kill ourselves.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
I agree with you. Yeah.
We all kill ourselves. And this side is saying, I'm
Well,
Muslim,
the
that side is
Iraqis were doing it, weren't they?
Everyone's doing it. So
The Libyans were doing it.
Exactly.
Everyone was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's not blame everyone. Let's say they are good and bad.
I think it depends also to the individuals. Some individual, for me, I like life. I like to experience full life.
Yes.
I don't care about religion so much. Why should I?
No.
Why should I care so much? I mean, okay, some people became like, everything has to be in moderation, balance.
Yes. Yeah.
Religion
You see,
is needed, but-
people think I'm a Christian because I mix in here, but I'm saying that the only difference between me and a Christian that call it proper Christian is that he prays. I don't.
Christians don't pray.
I don't.
No, they only go
But
to
they
church
do.
only on Sundays.
Yeah, but that's the only difference because I live
pray anytime
I
you
live
want.
by Christian values
Okay, yeah.
where I wouldn't hurt you guys if I could help
But you know what? If I divert the question, jump to a different one. All of these people are fighting for God, and all of them have a different God, and it's like funny. And what God thinks about these people now?
Maybe
And that's why our philosopher Rumi.
Yeah.
Rumi, I'm sure you must have heard about
I
him.
don't know,
Rumi is
no.
from a very Persian philosopher, the one which makes sense. You know, when you read the poetry of him, it makes sense. It's like everybody, all these people. You're right. So what God thinks about them, you know?
Yeah.
What is the point?
So, is there only one God, or is there no God, or is there a creator? Now, the creator could come from 65 million years ago from another planet, and these aliens came along, popped 2 sperms on the ground, and those sperms have grown. And
If I add this, I don't believe in a man-made God. If you look at the universe, if you look according to the scientists, the planet Earth is like a dot in universe.
Exactly.
No,
Even like
Exactly. Look.
and I don't think it's a
And
finish.
after this universe, there's another universe.
Yes.
They call it multi-universe.
Yes,
So
yeah,
that's
millions of
why-
universes.
and then-
Never, and it will never stop.
And then logically, you come and say, "Oh, God did for me, God that way." Which God?
and also God
That
which
God who
starts and goes.
But there could be aliens. I believe there are aliens that come and visit us.
And also,
So are they?
And also,
our-
I'm not in favor of Muslim that you chop someone's head in the name of God.
No.
Buddhism is the best philosophy. That's
Yeah.
why you're saying that. You know, Buddhism, according to Buddhism philosophy, you know, nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
All these universe, but we have
Yeah.
to go dive to ourselves. Yeah, you
But
know,
they-
Buddha
they-
said that we have to look at through
They
ourselves.
they all seem not. What's the opposite of warlike? They all seem they don't want to fight. They don't. I can't think of the word. But you understand what I mean? They're very. They don't want to fight. They don't want.
Which one?
Well,
The Buddhism.
the Buddhists, the Sikhs. And I've always put.
They all fight.
I suppose they do, but I've
Listen,
always put
they-
the Jews down in that.
No. If
in
you
that
look at
area-
if you
in
look at
that thing.
Myanmar, the
Yeah.
Buddhists are giving the Muslims hard time. If you look at Sri Lanka, the Buddhists are giving Muslims hard time. If
Yeah.
you look at India, the Buddhists, the Hindus are giving Muslims hard time. I think the way the balance of the power is, who is
Yeah.
the stronger is actually abusing the weaker.
But Buddhism is not about God. It's Buddhism about our being, our human, ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I believe?
You come. The
You know what I
moment we
believe?
die.
If I have enough money, I buy an island. I kick all the men out. I get 50 women in there. I have my kingdom. You fight here.
That sounds like a very Muslim idea. 57 virgins, doesn't it? Something like that.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna pack up and go
at
home.
least in Islamic heaven it is good. But
Yeah.
your heaven is very boring.
My grandfather had 4 wives.
Yeah.
Wives, I have only one.
Listen,
one is not enough.
I'm 76 years old. What could I do with 76 virgins?
One is not enough.
Nothing.
And you know what? Imagine if you had 70. You know, King Solomon.
Yeah.
He had 300 first degree wife and 700 second degree wife.
Really?
Oh, really?
See, that's
Anyway,
what
nice
comes.
talking
Nice
to
to
you.
meet you as
Nice
well.
talking to you.
Nice talking to you, folks. I'll see you next another Sunday. Yeah.
you.
See you again. Remember me? I got that on my head. Hi again, guys, and if you enjoyed the video, please mention it in the comments. You would also be doing me a big favour if you would like, ring the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already done so, that is. It costs you nothing to do so, but does a massive favour to the future success of the channel. I'll see you on the next one, but for now, ciao. You'll be doing me a great favour, and that is to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll speak to you at the end of the video, but for now, ciao.